Uh, and for just time. Um, oh, let me start. Can everybody see? So I will drifted recording call a couple of months ago. Also, I'm a big boy. My kids, they bring so much stuff for us, and it's so a week, but like can be but and, like smell if they smell bad. So that's yes. Okay. So start going through like our strategy, how we look at the multi plan, go through HR stuff, token stuff, marketing stuff, and you can share questions or you can ask us at the end. But so we're talking about, so this is a slide I've had in every so 2022 what we're doing the three, we felt like we found a good Forbes and strong, and this year is really about and stronger. So we feel pretty strongly about the value proposition that we have for Orbs and the strict focus we have now, which is essentially the same layer 3 that we have, keep it, but also go to market with our own use cases that are built on top of technology. We've had different the first really simple use touches real money in product TWAP and limit. About that specifically, but that was like the main work with our products on core stuff there, stuff in the needs using Orbs technology. Then Liquidity Hub is doing very, very well as well, but this is like where we can actually bring, so TWAP and limit is nice, it's types, people need those. Evolution, because liquidity really makes DEX UI be competitive in the world of aggregation. So,
I'm sorry, we hear you a bit cut off. At least I hear you like not so well. I don't know if the others can hear you.
Aaron, thank you for pointing out. I thought it was only me.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to do then, because this is the Wi-Fi I have. But I will try to speak slowly. You tell me if it's better.
Okay.
So maybe I'll try to move. I'll try to move to another place and see if it's better. I try to move somewhere else. Rearrange things for just 1 second. Can you hear me now? Is this better?
Yeah, it's better for me.
Okay. I will re-share my screen. Okay. So, as I've said, TWAP are good use cases. Like, we're leveraging layer 3 technology, virus in real life environment, people's money. But it's nice. It's an add-on. Liquidity Hub is revolutionary, because with Liquidity Hub, we're actually making DEX UI be competitive with aggregators. We are giving best price on chain work. Say like the guys this earlier, there was a trade. I'll just tell you the now. I'll get to it. Sorry, I'm already jumping forward, but then there's the stuff we're building now on chain perps. We have a good enough name for it, and we are working on the creative. I will perpetual hub, but the guy, we need to give a good brand name because we don't have one yet. We'll get, and I'll discuss as well. But the idea is that we are essentially providing the services that decentralized exchange need. When we look at views, when we look at like new ecosystems or existing ecosystems, the AMM, the DEX, is the most important building block in any environment, in any chain. So we are building the most important tools for the most important building block in any DeFi ecosystem. This is why we part with the DEXs out of, not the vaults, not the liquidity managers, not work with the DEXs. A word about that at the end after the products. Don't, Sean and Eran remind me that I wanted to say something about I work with DEXs. By the way, am I okay now? Is there an okay?
Yeah, it's better, but still not perfect. But I think it's fine. But Ran, maybe turn off your camera. I don't know, but it's okay, I guess.
Okay, I'm trying to. I hope it's better. Okay, so so as discussed, TWAP and Limit has been live now with 9 DEXs on 7 chains, and we have a lot of new integrations coming up. The big we are looking forward to is PancakeSwap on BNB. It's not something that we can share, please. So please keep it within this group. But we're working on TWAP and Limit on PancakeSwap, and it's going to be the biggest DEX we've had so far. So this is going very well. Working in production, and honestly, we have a very long pipelines of DEXs looking to integrate. And honestly, what's keeping them back is just our own integration pipeline. So we're working one by one, and we're going live with new ones all the time for this and Liquidity Hub. Some numbers. Wait, sorry, this is. I moved from the big screen, so now I don't see things. But yeah, okay. So some numbers. We have a total of, over 18,000 orders. 7,000 unique makers, total sum of over 68 million in USD, and filled almost 8. And we're seeing a clear uptrend. We're seeing more and more people are using these services, and obviously it's also correlated with the more usage we are seeing generally across DeFi now. So generally quite happy about that. Sorry, I'm trying to move windows around. Just 1 second, apologies. I had a good setup there, but I moved because of the reception. Okay. Liquidity Hub. So Liquidity Hub is live now with QuickSwap, Thina, and also QuickSwap on ZK EVM. So it's actually 3 chains here. It's not 2 chains. This slide is wrong. We're seeing very, 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 very good volume. Like total volume, 64 million, plus 87K. And we're seeing increased day by day of the amount of volume that gets processed through Liquidity Hub. We have, I think right now, around 11 different liquidity sources, be it on-chain solvers and market makers. And we're very happy with that. And we have a very strong pipeline of integrations coming up. We just launched with, we are launching with IntentX probably this week. We're now working with Spooky Swap on Phantom, Phoenix, and many others. And also a lot of the other partners we have that already have TWAP and Limit will be doing Liquidity Hub for them. Now, just to really explain how much Liquidity Hub can actually save users and generate revenue. So we had a trade today. I have it in my Telegram. Let me just look for it. So we had a trade today on QuickSwap, 200,000 USDT to WBTC. Okay. We were able to save the user around $900 on the execution. And in terms of fees generated for QuickSwap, we're able to generate over $10,000 in fees just for this one trade. Okay, and that's obviously split between the DEX and us. But still, this is like very, very, very impressive numbers for Liquidity Hub. And now let's talk about on-chain derivatives or perpetuals. So I know I mentioned this before, but when you look at the potential of on-chain derivatives, it's big. As you know, a lot of people, they trade perpetual futures for leverage trading. And it's very, very popular in centralized exchanges like Binance, OKX, and others. If you see today on spot trading side, around 20% is being traded on-chain. On the derivative side, it's less than 2%. And if you ask why is that, the reason is that the current platforms are limited by design. You have different kind of models. The biggest two projects is dydx and GMX. They use different approaches. dydx is an order book. GMX is based on liquidity pools on like an AMM, but still they're not very capital efficient and they can't really grow too much. Like they're kind of sandboxing the size that they are because it doesn't stay profitable. What CMIO is doing is they introduced a platform where essentially you do intent-based on-chain derivatives. So it's RFQ. It's very similar to how Liquidity Hub works. But within those kind of systems, you have a lot of different actors. You have different things to do. So CMIO, they're providing the smart contracts platform. And you have projects like Fina and Intentix who are providing the UI. But there are many roles within that ecosystem that needs to be filled. Three main ones are the hedger, meaning the entity that takes the other side of a trade for the user. The second one is the liquidator, meaning the entity that liquidates users when they get to a point where they don't have enough collateral for the trade. And the third is the oracle. The oracle is the one that determines what the price is for the purpose of the futures execution. Those three entities are something that Orbs is building right now. So we are building decentralized hedgers, decentralized oracle for futures, and decentralized liquidators. All of these together will essentially power systems such as CMIO and others when they grow. And I think the reason why we really like this, one, we feel like it's a very natural continuation of what we are doing with Liquidity Hub. That's one. And two, there's a lot of value here. These guys are generating a lot of revenue. Liquidator and hedger are generating a lot of revenue. Right now, we think around 300, 400K a month in USD, and the platforms are still very, very small. So if they have more integrations and they take larger open interest and larger volumes, we think there are going to be a lot of fees here, and this is fees that could go to the Orbs protocol for providing decentralized hedgers, decentralized liquidators, and the decentralized oracle. So this is still being built. It's not live yet. The first thing we will be doing is acting on those roles for Thina. We're already there working, but with small amounts of money. We need to deploy more and open more interest. We're only taking a small part of the volume now because it's still being tested. But this is going to be the next big product for Orbs in the place of futures. And these are just some numbers about how 씨미오와 is growing as a platform. But again, I will discuss this. What I want to say here is, going back to this, is we're really trying to build this kind of alliance of projects who are working with DEXs. Today, if you want to start a new DEX, there's some basic stuff you need. So for spot, you would need a smart contract platform, and the go-to solution today is Algebra. Once you have Algebra with V4 or V3, you need a router. The router would usually be one of three, either Paraswap, Odos, or OpenOcean. Then, if you want people to be able to actively manage their positions or have something that automates the management of their positions from the liquidity provision side, then you need an ALM, an active liquidity manager. So that's Ichi and Gamma, for example. And if you want a bridge or cross-chain, then you would use Squid with XLR or maybe a layer 0. So end of the day, you have a bunch of projects working together on each of these DEXs. And one of the things like we've been working on is being friends with all of these and being partners with all of these. So every time a new DEX comes along, we all kind of coming together to build it. So essentially the DEX, all they need to really take care of is how they bring the users. And we can help build all the full technology stack. So essentially you have this standard now of how a technology stack looks on a DEX. And Orbs is a very big part of it, with Liquidity Hub, with TWAP and Limit. And then when we look at the futures, it's really the same, because you have the smart contract platform is 씨미오와, the UI is IntentX or Thina. Even Thina is powered by IntentX in terms of UI. And then you have us powering the liquidator, the hedger, and the oracles. So essentially, also on the future side, we'll be building this kind of ecosystem. And then every integration that we get on the spot side, we can bring in the future side. And every integration we get on the future side, we can bring in the spot side. So it's all like part of kind of the same funnel for us. So we think it's very good, and we think we'll be seeing good fees coming in from this. But it's also a very complex thing to do. It's very like from a technology perspective, having these things in place, they touch a lot of money. It's high risk. So there's a lot of work to be done here from the technology side to make this work, and this is one of the focuses for the team now. I didn't really discuss HR, but we're more or less the same size. Sorry, I'm really cold. So we're pretty much the same size that we were. We are growing a little bit. We're looking to hire. So we hired Dragos, one of the devs here in London. I think I already told you that in the last gardening meeting we had. Now we also took a guy named Tom. He's a DevOps guy also for the devs here in London. And we're looking to grow probably two more devs, one in Tel Aviv and one in London. So we're growing, but not going crazy. You know, we don't like being a team that's too big because, you know, a lot of the time, all these new guys, they just, you know, they don't really add value. It takes a lot of time until they start adding value. So we're doing that very gradually. Okay. Still, you know, we're talking about generating revenue, and we are generating revenue, but we don't have that still integrated within the token. One of the things we've done is we had this call for grants for people who have ideas with respect to token utility. Honestly, I got this idea from Uniswap. That's what they're doing in their process of figuring out what's the best model. They had a couple of proposals that were shut down, but still the idea is to gather more info from the community, from you guardians, from everyone before we move forward with the proposal for an actual models for the tokenomics. And as discussed, in the meantime, we're working to get more revenue generated for the protocol. And all of this will be up for, allocation once we have the model in place. Proof of stake is growing, not by a lot. We have these waves. On the one hand, you see the proof of stake growing, but on the other hand, then you have surges in price where you see people unlocking because they want to take some profit, which is fine. That's the dynamics. Store is still around 900 million orbs, looking to grow. A few notable additions is we had DWF join as a guardian and stake. We've had OKX just over the weekend. They launched their retail staking platform, which is the biggest retail staking platform we've had. Until now, we've had the biggest was Bitham. Now we also have OKX. And also as part of our push to the Indian market, we've had CoinBX, which is one of the larger domestic exchanges, on board as a guardian and start bringing in their stake. And governance, once we have proposal, we work on it, but any ideas you guys have on new proposals are always welcome. And every time we have something that's big or material, we try to get that for the community to decide. Events and conferences. So we've been traveling. Recently, we went to ETH Denver. I think it was one of the more successful conferences I participated in personally. It was very good. It's very DeFi centric, so we had a lot of people attend. Last week we had DAS, Digital Asset Summit in London. It's a bit more like enterprisey and traditional in a sense. But still, we had a lot of good meetings. People come in. We also had a big side event in our office. By the way, the pictures where you're seeing all the people standing in a big area, this is the London office. Obviously, we share it with our friends at Harris and Trotter, but still, this is our office. So we had a couple of big events in our office, which was nice. And we have Paris Blockchain Week in 2 weeks from now, actually. And that's that. There's a lot of conferences in April. We can't go to all of them. So there's Hong Kong and Dubai and Paris. In Paris, I'm speaking, so we're doing that. And also, it's not too far away. But there's a lot of conferences now. Also, we are doing a lot of meetups. The Korea team has been busy with the Bitmart birthday, and they're doing a big Ton one. I think next week, or I don't remember when. Eddie, you can tell me when is the Ton one. Also, big sponsorship and speaking, and other meetups. Mayo and Aina are working on a trip to Japan, where they're going to participate in many. They're going to do another Ton side event and one just Orb side event, and a lot of meetings and stuff. So it's not just the global team doing the big conferences. It's also a lot of local stuff in Korea and Japan. Unfortunately, not a lot of events in Tel Aviv at the moment. So that's on that. Yeah, as you've probably seen, we're getting a lot of media appearances and recognition. Just this year, it's been 3 months, and we already have over 50 media articles and mentions. We've been getting good quotes. I got a quote on Forbes, which was cool. Yeah, we also a lot of people where they talk about layer 3. They mentioned that Orb was the first to kind of coin the term, which is cool. So we're seeing a lot of appearances on media. Our community channels are looking very good. Over 200K people on Twitter, which is our strongest channel. Also on Global Telegram, we have around 150K members. I think we even have more in the announcement channel. No, how much do we have in the announcement channel?
Over 250K.
Yeah, 270K on the Orbs announcement channel. There's just a 200K limitation on the global one, so we got stuck at some point. But on the announcement one, it's quite big. Yeah, and generally happy. One of the things just regarding marketing, we are thinking about maybe doing a couple of bigger campaigns in the next few months. We're trying to think about what's the best kind of way to allocate resources there, because we are interested in allocating the resources, but I don't want to just throw it on random, like a random influencer that's going to shill us for a little bit, but we won't see a lot of actual value come from that. So really trying to understand how to best deploy funds for a bigger kind of marketing campaign. And specifically, if anybody here has ideas, we're thinking about global and also specific jurisdictions. So we are thinking about Korea, for example. So Henry, Eric, if you have any ideas or you think there's anyone specific in terms of like influencers or venues that you think we should work with, please DM me about it and we'll consider it. But that's on the marketing side. Yeah, and I think this is all from me. And yeah, any questions, anyone?
This is Henry from Korea. So I just memo to what I needed to ask some questions to Ran. So first of all, so Ran, are you able to share the more the details, the information about the big campaign? So the within of the couple of next week. It's so what is the big campaigns? So what is the type of a big campaigns? It's the done by your marketing team. So I would like to hear some more specific.
So so it's not defined yet. We're looking into it, okay? But we're talking about for 2024. So let's say I'm thinking about how I can deploy, let's say around, now on a yearly basis. Let's talk specifically about Korea, okay? This is not just about Korea, but let's talk about Korea specifically. So we have Eddie and Edward on the ground. We have like my hobby channel that we use and a couple of channels. Once in a while, we do paid PRs. In the past, we did like campaigns with Upbit or with Bitham, but we didn't see it's really like, it didn't change a lot in terms of like, it's not like we put money and then we see volumes go up or a lot of interest or anything like that really changes.
Mm-hmm.
At least nothing we can measure. And, we do KBW once a year. I come over, we do sponsorship. We don't do usually a very big one. So let's say I wanted to make something bigger this year. So instead of being like, bronze tier in KBW, I can take gold tier. It's a lot of money. Maybe it's worth it. I don't know. It's just hard to measure. Let's say that I do a campaign with Upbit and a campaign with Bitham just for like recognition. And then maybe I want to work with influencers. So how do I work with them? So when I'm saying about, when I mean about campaign, I'm talking about like general, like kind of brand awareness campaign for Orbs. And the question is, what is the best I can do? Because, we have our product roadmap that I just showed you here. This is going very well, I think. So the only question is whether I want to back that up with additional marketing in the way that would make sense. So this is where I'm asking, like, if there is any ideas that you guys, let's say, tell me, listen, this is a great venue. This is a great website. You should put money, advertise on that website, for example. Or tell me, this one is a very good influencer. If you talk to him and you convince him to support Orbs, it could give us a good push. This is an input that, if anybody has, I'll be happy to hear.
Okay. Ron, if I have any kind of ideas, I can work with Eddie and Sean. Am I right?
Also with me, you can write to us we have a group all together. You can write in the group.
Okay, got it. And
I have a
okay.
I have a question about the Rinea.
Yeah.
Last time I saw on Twitter, they announced the airdrop their token on Ops protocol. What happened next? Nothing. I haven't seen any announcement.
Yeah, so they didn't really airdrop like on Orbs protocol. They airdropped they gave so we got, I don't remember the numbers, but essentially they send to one address that is controlled by the foundation some tokens. We use these tokens essentially to stake back. They're locked. They're locked for 2 years because it's a V33 model. And we use those tokens to bribe our own pools or pools that we participate in on Linux, on Linea. Okay? So essentially, this is now kind of part of the kind of foundation treasury. I don't think it was big amounts. Eran, how much was it? Like 20K?
I think even less. It was a very small amount to partners for engagement in the protocol. So
yeah, so they did it's honestly, Eric, is mostly marketing. So they airdropped, we staked it back, and then they can say, we granted Orb something, and we say we staked on Linux, and everybody's happy. And this is still part of we didn't, we're not taking this home. It's part of the foundation treasury, but honestly, it's it's mostly marketing. It's nonsense.
Yeah, it's the reason I mentioned this because you talk about the marketing, it's really hard to catch attention from the retail investor if you collaborate with the big YouTuber or Guardians, influencer. It doesn't work anymore. So recently, you see the Cosmos ecosystem, they airdrop each other. So people got an intention because they expect, maybe airdrop got some money. So that was really one of a great example. Recently, it works. So because you guys will work with a lot of decks right now, we will do more. So we can build that kind of system, more attractive to the retail investor, I think.
Okay, that is just a great
Yeah,
question. Yeah. So actually, the next question is the same as Eric also the questions right now. So currently, there are a lot of the big the attentions from especially current, for example, the decentralized the perpetual DEX. So there was a lot of the airdrop and airdrops event from the deposits and the trading fees, something like that. And also, Eric just mentioned the Cosmos, the ecosystems shared a lot of the airdrops with some different projects. So I think it can catch up a lot of attention from the retail investors. I think Eric's question is quite great. I want to hear also the foundation's, the team's opinion about Eric's question. Great.
Yes, so I agree with both of you completely that this is airdrop farming season now. So, a lot of projects, they've been kind of sitting on their token for a lot of time, waiting for the right time to market. And now, obviously with Bitcoin started and then everything else, it's looking more bull market now. So everybody's coming out with their tokens. And the new playbook for, every season has a different playbook for launches, right? It used to be ICO. ICOs, then private token sales, then IDOs. Now the big thing is like these, you taunt like an airdrop farming for a very long time. And then you create a lot of hype up to the time where the token is out. Then the token is out, and then usually there's like some subside, like, sometimes the token shoot up, but also sometimes like the interest kind of subsides. So what a lot of projects like Optimism and others they're doing like seasons now. So like you have a few airdrops, so you can keep taunting the next airdrop even after the token is out, and this and all kind of this things. On the one side it's an advantage, on the other side is a disadvantage. Is that we are, we've been around for a long time. So taunting what will happen after the airdrop for orbs would not work, right? Because we already have a traded token for, over 5 years. So that's kind of, one thing that makes it a bit different for us. We can do airdrops, like this is always a possibility. It's just a question of, whether or not we want to dilute ourselves that way. I mean, when I do let's say I do a very aggressive airdrop, so I'm diluting all of you guys who bought your tokens for money. You know what I mean? So it's a question about whether we want to use these kind of things. What a lot of projects do, they do like a new token. They do like a second token, right? And the second token is like some sort of like weird governance token, and then they airdrop the second token that's somehow interchangeable to the first token. These are like, these are stuff that we can do. The problem with this is it's all very aggressive tools, meaning usually, unless it's like a very, very, very big token or like a very, very big ecosystem, usually what you see is after these come out, like you see sometimes a pump, and then like 1 month after, 2 months after, everything dies. And then you have like at least like two different trading assets, and both of them, sometimes have very low volumes and nobody's using them, or they don't have any use. So, on the one hand, like this is, I am seeing this kind of stuff as well. And we're also participating sometimes. I'm not sure if it's the best approach for orbs. And if it was, I would say I would try to do something like very carefully. I wouldn't be too aggressive with these tools. I don't think it's really our DNA, for better and for worse. I know you guys know that, but we are seeing this project as like a very, very long-term play. So I agree with you guys. This is very hot and trendy right now. I am not sure if it's the best fit for us and how we can do that. But yeah, agreed. Definitely something to look at.
The reason I mentioned about airdrop, because as a retail investor, there is only one way to use the OBS token, staking. So when you stake OBS token, if you have a chance to airdrop the token related to OBS ecosystem, for example, Thena or Sim or IntenseX, and people interesting about the OBS token itself, also interested about kind of the project future, in the future. So I think it's going to be a good marketing tool to attract the retail investor. That's why I mentioned the airdrop, because so far people notice, I think in Korea, people notice the OBS enough, but they don't know what we do. So at least you need to tell them what we do. Then we need some process or landscape or something people easy to understand.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good point. We can think about it. Yeah, good point.
And last one, I think it's better to close Discord channel. No one use it, and all the advertisements in that channel.
Sean, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, we can. That's not a big deal. Or leave it open. No, not really. Sometimes we have, like, occasionally we have like a few people come in there, whether it's guardians or new proposals. But I mean, if it becomes less of a, like more of a bother to people, then it helps. And I don't think it's a big deal if we close it. So I don't have to decide now, but yeah, that's something I know.
Okay, we can discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not the main channel that, I think Telegram and Twitter are obviously bigger. Yeah. Anything else? Anyone?
Rans, do you have any the plan to working together with the Solana ecosystem?
Solana? No.
No. Okay, got it.
I mean, listen, everything that goes on in Solana now is like so stupid, honestly. Like the thing with Solana is because the fees are so low, any kid can like launch stupid meme tokens. It's all like Nazi coins and stuff there now. It's like crazy.
Agree.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like we never touched Solana even back in like the FTX days because it's a big lift from technology perspective. It's not EVM. We try to focus on EVM chains. The only non-EVM chain that we were willing to put efforts on is obviously Ton, because we do think the potential of Ton is very unique and very interesting for us because of Telegram. But yeah, probably you won't see us on any other non-EVM other than Ton anytime soon. There's enough to do in the EVM space.
How about the Liquidity Hub on Ton ecosystem? Are you guys preparing or just like something else?
So the thing with is it's just not, it's still too early. Like we have a general kind of understanding with StoneFi that once, StoneFi is the biggest DEX, and also they get the support of the Ton Foundation. So they will always be the biggest DEX. Okay. So we have kind of this understanding with them that once things will pick up, we will do liquidity hub. But right now, like the volume just doesn't justify it. There's not enough volume on Ton. Like the price of the token is going up nicely, which is good for everyone. Everyone's happy. But honestly, we don't see a lot of DeFi on Ton just yet. Maybe now with like liquid staking tokens and stuff like that. So there's the possibility we can do it when we want. Like, should we put the efforts now? I think it's better to do Pancake now. You know what I mean? Like, I think these are like the more interesting places. Try to get Sushi. Try to get all the new tokens, like all the new DEXs launching on Blast. This is like more the focus right now.
This is another question.
But potentially, yes.
Rans, I have some complaint about this. Just now, we talk about the Ton ecosystem. Actually, I'm one of the pink named persons in one of the crypto community in Korea. So in these days, as the Ton price is going up after Telegram's IPOs announced. So I'm not sure why is the Ton price going up. So because of that, it's something is a separate issue. But whatever, it's currently the Ton's it's a big issue in the Korean crypto community. However, nobody knows is the Ops is strongly engages the Ton project. So what I'm complaining is that I want to turn the communities some more attention about Ops and advertise our project to their community. And first, I cannot see just a few times the Ops project as commented is in Ton's community.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. One, I think one of the problems. Okay, so I take that note, and we need to think about how we do this better. Eddie and I will take. By the way, Edward is in a side event right now, so that's why he's not on the call. But Eddie and I will take that between us and see how we can make it better. I think if you see the global channels, like the dev channels, you see they talk about Ton about Orbs all the time in Ton channels, because it's like developer tools. We build developer tools they actually need, like Tone Access, Tone Minter, Tone Vote. So we need to think how we do this better. One of the things we're doing now is there's a big tone night in Seoul. Eddie, when is it?
It's tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow. So tomorrow there's a tone night in Seoul. That's a pretty big event, and a lot of people are coming. And Eddie is actually a keynote speaker. So, this is one of the things. I think this is the biggest event Tone has ever done in Korea, and we are there as keynote speakers, sponsors with them in the big event. So this is like one of the things we're trying to achieve is like showing how close we are. But yeah, we can think about the groups as well, how we can do that better.
Ransta, I believe that would be the help. So the attend is the tones the build-ups the event and the attend as key speakers whatever. So currently I'm so happy to Eddie's attend the lots of the event and introduce overs. As most of the event I joined and I hear. So currently I'm so happy we got the great attentions now, Eric. So currently I saw the Eric's presentations revolutions period is highly the skill and the voice tone is very better than before. But whatever the what I'm question is that this is only one-time event. What I'm point is that even so it would be very helpful. So just only kind of the crypto people to attend that event and just on the order 200 or 100 whatever. But what I would like to mention at this moment, we need to more some activity to show up the overs the brand into Tone community with a more the wide community. In not only one-time event or something like that. Yeah, so what I'm point, right?
Yeah, understood. Agreed. Yeah, we can think about it.
So is there any the new proposals about the tokenomics?
Not yet.
Not yet.
If you have any, send us.
Got it.
No, I mean, there could be something very easy as just like distributing all protocol fees, or we can try to do something a bit more like gamified or interesting. But yeah, honestly, we're taking our time. I think the entire industry is taking its time.
Yeah.
Like I think coming out with a model that's very specific today, when we have $5,000 in fees every month, will not look very interesting for people. You know what I mean? So, maybe by end of year, when futures is live stuff, we have more serious protocol fees, then any proposal would look better. Honestly, that's one of the reasons we're taking our time.
Good.
So we came out with like this notice of grant and call for grant and have people send proposals. So we want to show the community this is something we're working on. But honestly, I would come out with like a proposal once we have more actual on-chain revenue generated that we can distribute. And by the way, everything that we distribute now, we just keep there. Yeah, it's not like we're using it for like salaries or something. So everything we accumulate now, we're going to, distribute back once we have a model. So, yeah.
Runs the another question. Now is Obus collaborating with only CMOs decentralized perplexity text, right? So is there any plan to working with another perplexity text? It's like a dydx or currently is KiloX is so hot in Korea. It's coming next year. But is there any plan to work with another perpetual text?
So we like the model of intent-based, like RFQ-based perpetual DEX, which is not like dydx or GMX.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the focus now, at least for now. There's enough players like participating in dydx, GMX, and it's much more competitive. We think the value is in actually stuff like SIM, but you understand that SIM.io is only the smart contract platform. Like it's not, they're going to have many UI integration. Like every UI integration that I have today, like QuickSwap, like, Thin already there, but like Linux on Linea or like BaseSwap on Base, all of these guys, I can come over and essentially I can bring them like the full suite of like derivatives where Sim is the smart contracts, Intent is the UI, like gives them white label, and we do all the thing in the middle. So yeah, so for right now, we are focusing on building on the same kind of smart contract layer, but we can change after. That's just like this first step in this market.
That's the step by step, right?
Yeah, exactly. As always.
Okay, great. I understand. Thank you.
So tokenomics will be launched when we have enough revenue. Is that right?
Or if we have a very good idea before we have enough revenue, right? One of the two. Whatever comes first. No, I'm just saying, like, honestly, I'm taking my time with this. Like, we're taking our time with this.
Hating you.
What? No, like, listen, even like, honestly, we saw Uniswap. They came out, okay, we're going to start distributing fees. So I thought, okay, like now everybody has to do it. Like once Uniswap actually have fees enabled, like they distribute like protocol revenue, then all of us will have to do it. But then they shut it down themselves. So still nobody has to do it yet. So, I mean, I do want to get to a place where we distribute revenue, but I want to make sure we make that revenue first. So taking our time, we'll see. Okay, good stuff, everyone. Thank you for your time. And yeah, we'll do another one of those in a couple of months. In the meantime, anything you can shoot me in a message. If anyone is in London, you're welcome, or in Paris, you're welcome to come say hi. By the way, KBW this year, Sean and I will be coming. Before that, we have EdCon in Japan with Mayo and Aina. So I'm going to do that as well. Token 2049 Singapore will be doing this year.
ETCC is up in the air? Or?
ETCC Brussels, when is it? It's not like anybody in this group is going to be in Brussels, but yeah. When is it?
Start of July. Like we get first week of July. Yeah.
Yeah. Brussels is nice. Maybe we'll do Brussels as well. No, I'm just kidding. It's going to be good. Yeah, so that's what's on the plate right now, but we'll see.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Okay, thanks a lot. Take care.
Thank
folks.
you.
Take care.
Guys.
Bye.
Bye.